Today's modern environment creates the arena for solving complex fire problems. Your company, Master Protection Enterprises, is the nation's largest full-service fire protection company, staffed, trained, and equipped to deal with fire protection systems on a major scale. Our services fill the entire fire protection spectrum. Life Safety Service is at the heartbeat of everything Master Protection does. Testing of fire protection systems and their maintenance before the fire has proven to be the one element known to defeat this major threat to life and property.
In actuality, what we're doing is simulating a fire scene. When we test a dry standpipe system, we actually make a connection to the inlets. We actually flow water. We actually try to determine whether or not that dry standpipe system will work if it had to be used by the fire service.
Understanding the consequences of systems that fail and the lives at stake, Master Protection faces their responsibilities with state-of-the-art technology and expertise. The testing and maintenance of fire protection systems is an intricate profession which leaves no margin for error and no room for shortcuts. Automatic fire sprinklers saturate the fire immediately and reduce fire losses to near zero when they function properly. The correct sprinkler head with the proper temperature rating is critical. Dry standpipes move large volumes of water to upper floors. Each integral component must be operable at all times. Fire escape ladders require periodic maintenance to ensure their operation at the crucial moment. Fire doors, which close automatically in the event of fire, stop the fire spread in its tracks when properly maintained. A fire hose is useless if it is disconnected or has a nozzle missing. Master Protection installs and maintains the full line of fire alarms and detectors, including a voice alarm and evacuation control system for high-rise buildings. When fire gets out of control, malfunctions of a fire protection system can cause a tragedy. It takes years of dedication and intensive training to develop the hands-on expertise needed to work with and understand the complexities of these crucial systems. In our experience, working with the testing and maintenance of fire sprinkler and standpipe systems, malfunctions can and do occur from debris in the system. Rust, weathering, and neglect also will lead to total system failure. To a firefighter, this means the worst of all worlds: no water when his life is on the line, along with those he is fighting to save. There is no margin for error. There is no room for shortcuts.
Testing is very important because, number one, the insurance companies rely on that fire protection equipment that are in the building. Number two, the potential liability that a building owner has in case the fire protection equipment were not to operate properly. The fact that the fire department relies on the fire protection equipment in that building for first aid, if not for total suppression. And unless the systems are tested and the defects are corrected, that there is no assurance that those systems will operate properly. If the systems do not operate properly, property can be lost and lives cannot be spared.
Testing fire sprinklers requires a backflow test. Once the system has been visually checked, the technician removes the clapper valve from the detector check assembly and, with the assistance of a fire pump in some instances, causes water to flow back through the system, flushing it. Once the detector check valve cover has been replaced and the OS and Y valve turned on. Flowing water out of the fire department inlet connections and observing the flow flush away any debris and rust accumulations reveals system weaknesses and allows for repairs and corrective measures to be implemented, including the replacement of missing inlet covers and fire department breakaway capping devices upon completion of the test. Quality control is an integral element of all master protection operations, and testing procedures are no exception. All work is inspected by a quality control specialist before the job is certified and the system returned to service. Dry standpipes require special testing techniques, equipment, and procedures. The system is first purged with air while technicians are checking piping and outlets for defects that could cause significant water damage inside the building being tested. This technique was developed out of the research program implemented at Master Protection in 1968 as a result of standpipe failures in major buildings across the nation. Subsequently, many cities, states, and the federal government have included these techniques in their regulatory adoptions to guarantee the integrity of these systems. Once the system is purged and inspected, it is filled with water from a fire pumper and tested at the pressure and flow it would experience in actual use. Water is pumped to the highest outlet where technicians have instrumentation to measure and record both the static and flowing water pressures. In-house training programs for technicians utilize all applicable national codes and the copyrighted training manual written by Master Protection President Gerald Pressman. In order to ensure that our systems function as designed, Master Protection constructed its own fire protection system laboratory designated Biltmore Place, after the $1 million sprinkler retrofit project installed for the Biltmore Hotel. The laboratory serves as the focal point for live fire tests and system evaluations. Actual fires are the best possible testing method, and Master Protection leaves nothing to chance.
Last year, there were $21 billion in fire losses. I personally believe that these losses are directly attributable to the lack of enforcement, to the lack of legislation, and of the lack of commitment by companies like ours to perform the services correctly and bring the message to the public. I want to charge all of you in this room with recognizing that if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Without that partnership, we can't effectively deal with the problems facing our country.